A few episodes ago, I revealed to you my new but very used 2005 E55 AMG station wagon. The car was daily driven its entire life, and the original owner accumulated 232,000 miles, probably making it the highest mileage E55 wagon in the country. As you can see, this car needs a lot of work, and because it also has a bunch of mechanical issues, the owner called it quits and it was sold to me as a project car. Now, even though only 193 E55 wagons were sold in the US, and they're very collectible and very valuable, my goal isn't to turn this into a museum piece. The mileage automatically disqualifies it from anything like that. I want this to be a properly sorted, really nice driver that you can be proud of, a total dream car for some that can be driven as much as you want without the feeling of guilt that you're destroying the value on an ultra rare classic. So in this video, I am going to start and finish everything on my 2005 E55 AMG wagon to complete its restoration. And with that, sit back, relax, grab yourself a cold soda. Do you guys say soda? It's pop. It's pop where I come from, so grab yourself a cold pop, a cold beer, a hot coffee, and enjoy the show. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. All right, that is enough of an introduction. Let's get to work. Our first order of business is rust repair. Both quarter panels had some bubbling of the paint going on, and because we don't see a gaping hole from the outside, some might consider sanding this down and filling it. You can do that, but it's almost guaranteed not to last, as here's what it looks like from the inside. If there's bubbling, there's usually a hole somewhere, and considering I didn't title this video how much I hate AMG cars, I want this fixed properly. There are only two ways to fix rust: replace the entire panel or cut and weld in new metal. So because the rest of the quarter panel was in great condition, the guys at Mancuso Collision Custom in Glenview, Illinois did just that. They cut out all the rusted metal and made a template. This was transferred and cut out of bulk sheet metal and then carefully formed to the curvature of the quarter panel. This area of the quarter also has an inner lip, so that was duplicated as well, and with the new part fitted back in, they tack welded it in place, sanded the welds down, and used filler to blend in the repair. This was then sanded to perfection, and the inside was undercoated to prevent future issues, and both quarter panels and the rear bumper were primed and painted, and now the wagon is out of the paint booth. The rust repair is complete. Take a look. Pretty cool, no more rust, brand new metal. This looks perfect. God, these guys are so good. Lupe, the painter, has like 37 years of experience. He always does a really good job. So they painted the rear bumper, looking good. The rest of the car will obviously need to be buffed, and I know I'm gonna hear in the comment section, why didn't you just paint the whole car? Guys, you gotta draw the line somewhere. The whole car doesn't need to be painted. The clear coat is totally fine. We're gonna have to buff it out. It's gonna take some time, but it doesn't need a complete paint job. But maybe you don't believe me, so here is a little teaser for you. This is after a buff and a ceramic coating using this stuff, the Armor Shield 9 by Avalon King. Now, you'll see the results of me coating the entire car later in the video, but the Armor Shield does a really good job at adding a deep glossy shine, and I've coated most of my fleet with this stuff. Anyone can do it at home, it's affordable, and so here's a few seconds for today's video sponsor. Start off with a good car wash, then spray it down with rubbing alcohol to remove oil and waxes from the surface, and then just simply wipe it on. Wait a minute and wipe it off. It's that easy. You're done with that section. I've coated most of my fleet, including daily drivers, and because it's so good at repelling water and dirt, my cars stay cleaner for much longer, and this coating lasts for years, not months like wax. One kit comes with everything you need to coat an entire mid-sized car, including the wheels and the glass, and it's one of the best trim restorers on the market. You're gonna have a blast restoring trim in minutes, and this shaves years off the look of your car. Click on my link down below and use coupon code LEGIT. That's gonna make a complete kit only $45. If you have a larger truck or SUV, get 2 of them. It's the best deal around, and I know you guys are gonna love it. Anyway, here is the other side. No more bubbling, no more rust. I honestly don't even remember exactly where it was, but it was all in here. This is gonna look so good, so good. But it's been a couple weeks, and I hear a new noise under the hood. All right, check this out. See that water pump? Yeah, it shouldn't be wobbling around like that. So we have a bad water pump. So one more thing that I have to replace. No big deal, they're not too terribly expensive and kind of easy to do. That'll give me a chance to flush out the coolant as well. So since I have to order up the water pump that's gonna take a few days, I need to diagnose pretty much all of the lights on the dash. So in the last video of this car, it was going into limp mode. It had a bunch of ABS traction control lights on the dash, a bunch of crazy stuff going on. So this couldn't have come at a better time. So this is my new Autel. Guys, I've wanted one of these for a long time. My buddy Watch JR Go has the same one, I believe. And we have a ton of different adapters. Before we hook this up, I gotta replace the battery in here and then go for another test drive, clear out all of the codes. The battery is shot. And before you diagnose, dash lights and stuff, make sure your charging system and your battery is up to snuff, because especially on Euro vehicles, it can throw a bunch of trouble codes just by having low voltage. So we want to rule that out before we get crazy and start ordering parts. So let me go swap this battery and hook that bad boy up. And here we go. There are a lot of modules on this car. Transmission control module, that is first. Okay, I guess we're gonna hit there. That is actually where I think the issue is gonna be. These have conductor plate issues. That's basically the circuit board for the valve body. So let's read the codes. All right, so this code right here, that is definitely a conductor plate type of code. So is this one, so is this one. Left rear wheel speed signal, that could be nothing. See, it's an event. That could probably blow out and be okay. So I think at this point, just from looking at this code, we would definitely want to do a conductor plate. And let's see what else we have here. ESP. Okay, so we are getting some left rear speed sensor codes in ESP. Under voltage supply, that'll probably pop up in every module. So that could be real. The speed sensors and actually the reluctor rings on the axles do go bad on these. So lots and lots of codes in pretty much everything. Very, very typical on a Euro car, but take a look at this. That is the engine's computer. Pass, no fault. Awesome. Airbags, pass, no fault. Good. So we got a lot of good stuff here. This is probably a lot of under voltage light bulbs and stuff if you see codes in Sam's. Yep, so light bulb, light bulb. This is probably nothing. Under voltage, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, under voltage. Yeah, so a lot of this you can basically just clear right out. Okay, so everything is clear. Let's go back into ESP and we want live data. All right, let's go to RPM sensors. Okay, so because it's in the rear, we really don't need to go for a ride. So I've jacked the car up. We're gonna have ESP unavailable diagnostic test. That's good. All right. So we'll click this into drive. All right, we'll give it a little bit of throttle here. So right off the bat, I see this is very consistent. This is going a little crazy. Now this is an open differential. So yeah, this could mean, oh wait, no, there we go. Yeah, it's dead. Left rear speed sensor down to nothing. This one's nice and consistent. So let's go pull that speed sensor. It could possibly be rust. The ring could have broken apart. Or the sensor's just bad, which would be nice. All right, guys, I'm bringing you in here with me. We're gonna pull this sensor out all the way. Let's see what we can see. Yeah, lots of rust. Lots of rust. No chunks of a ring, though, which is nice. Oh, yeah, definitely very rusty in there. Look at all that garbage. That is really bad. So we want to get all of that out before we continue on with this diagnosis. Okay, I just vacuumed this out, and we have some bad news. See that right there? That is the reluctor ring, and it is completely broken and kind of fell off of the end of the axle there. So that definitely needs to be replaced. Otherwise, it's not going to pick up a signal. All right, so with everything diagnosed, I've ordered up all the parts, water pump included. They should be here in like 2 or 3 days, but we don't have any time to waste. We got to keep on working. So next up, we are going to remove this old cracked up bumper. I already have a black mint condition bumper off my other E55 wagon that's going to go on this car. We have to fix these disgusting headlights. Dennis Does Dents is coming to fix this huge dent. We have paint protection film to peel off, see what's underneath that. Ton of work to do.
pushed on it and it popped out.
Dude, you fixed it before I was able to film it. I walk away for like 2 minutes and Dennis fixes the dent on the fender without me filming it. If you guys remember what the dent looked like, this is what it is now. It's practically perfect and it took them all, I don't know, about 5 minutes. So that's what's nice about having such a large dent with the bumper off. You can kind of get behind it. This is what we have behind the paint protection film. Really nice. Wow, look at how nice this paint looks underneath the PPF. It's beautiful. Look at, there's just a nice little line here. So we have 232,000 miles of scratches and wear and tear versus, well, I don't know when it was done, but let's just say it was done when it was new. It looks beautiful.
You can still probably see a little bit of low spots right there and right there. I can still clean that up. When I was pulling the PPF off, it took longer than just literally pushing on it with the back of my hand to fix the dent.
So it took you longer to take the PPF off than the dent?
Yes.
All right.
But, I mean, there's still a lot of cleanup. The edge is bent here, so that still has to get done. It's just the majority of it came out, so I just got to clean up the rest of it to clean it out.
So normally this would be really good news, but when you're a YouTuber and you're trying to film stuff that you want to show to people, Dennis is too good. He just cannot resist getting dents out. So Dennis Does Dents, all the links. Oh, you just dent, there we go, there we go. Look at that. He just popped it back in.
Yeah.
So you've seen it here first, people. A dent guy adding a dent to a car to take it back off again. So yeah, you can see there's a pretty big one here on the left rear door that he can pop out. And that one shouldn't be too horrible, but we'll at least be able to see Dennis work his magic on this one.
Well, the main thing is that because this body line is pinched right here, that's going to be the deciding factor on if it comes out or not. But the way it's pushed in is it's going to be distorted when I go to pull it out. It's not going to come out flat.
He glued a little tab on here, and we're basically going to slide hammer this thing out, see what happens. So I coincidentally had this door panel off anyway, which is great because now we can easily remove this trim here, which I'm going to foolishly attempt to do with one hand. Probably drop it. Whoa, there we go. So there's just one screw that holds this in. We got that out of the way. And now Dennis can actually get to this from the inside and from the outside, so that'll be nice. So I asked Dennis how it went. He's like, yeah, you know, it's okay. He always says that and it ends up being perfect. Look at this. I don't even know where the dent was. This panel is seriously perfectly flat. Wow, amazing. This is really nice, really nice. I didn't even notice this right away because the car was just so dirty. I thought we were just doing the fender. So there's other little dents here and there on this car. We're not gonna go nuts. It's not gonna be perfect. We got the big ones out and it is looking nice. All right, a little bit of instant gratification will be the replacement of this glass. You can see all of its fluid has leaked out. This is heated and it's about $500. Luckily, I've owned quite a few of these W211 cars and I had an extra one in stock. It's crazy to think that this little guy is $500. If both of these were damaged and you were looking to buy one of these cars, you'd have to fork up $1,000 if you go to the dealer to replace these, but you guys know better than that. Find this kind of stuff used all day. All right, one connector. There is our new mirror. Instant gratification. So we went from this to this in about 1 minute. Next up, hood star. And I might actually take this out again when we get to buffing this car. But for now, that just makes me feel better. Yeah. All right, with all of our dents removed and before we get to installing our new front bumper, we have some mechanical repairs to get to. So all of my parts came in yesterday, and of course, they are from my friends at FCP Euro. So one of the many reasons why I love these guys is because you can get factory dealership parts shipped to your house, no need to go anywhere, and they still come with that lifetime replacement guarantee. So there's really no reason to go anywhere else. I'll leave you guys a link to FCP Euro down below in the description box. But this is what we have going on. So they sell kits for many things, many common things that go bad on a lot of cars. So the water pump they sell as a kit you can get with the thermostat and all the coolant and everything in one shot. And then also the conductor plate's a very common issue on these cars. And while you're doing the conductor plate, you're definitely going to want to replace the little electrical connector. These like to leak. You're going to do your transmission filter, and of course they give you the pan gasket. You get your little washer and a new cap for the dipstick tube, and you get this little red guy that slides right in the top of there. It's so you don't tamper with your own transmission. It's kind of goofy, but you just break that off basically in order to add transmission fluid. And then if you want your car to look proper again, you replace that little red thing and now your car looks like it's never been touched, I guess. So we're gonna start off with the easy parts, which is the water pump and the thermostat. And then unfortunately, we have to do this guy. This is gonna not be fun. I was really imagining taking this off in one big piece. That would have been really cool, but it's not happening. Ooh, 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 a big piece. Yes. Oh, guys, look at this paint. Oh man, is this car gonna look good. All right, guys, enough playing around with fun stuff. Let's get dirty. Oh yeah, this was bad. Look at that. This thing was ready to let loose. Oh, worse than nails on a chalkboard. Oh, it's so bad. All right, let's get the new one on. All right, the water pump is complete, and we have a new thermostat in there as well. Who knows how old that thing is, but it is the next day. Everything is cleaned up, and I have goodies. Well, I was gonna do a time lapse for this front bumper install, but realistically, all you guys are gonna see is pretty much this part here, where I slide the bumper on. Yeah, and on camera, looks pretty close to being done right there. We'll snap these in. All right, there we go. Now let me just install the bolts, and that's the front bumper. All right, last bolt for the grill. And let's see what we got. Nice. Oh, this is great. Huh? Now, whenever I think I got a good run going, it tears. No. All right, I'm done for now. This is taking forever, and I really just want to move on to the mechanical repairs, especially that ABS ring in the back. That job has been keeping me up at night, so I'll get to the rest of this PPF removal during the buffing and detailing stage of this project, but just take a look. Take a look. New bumper, polished out headlights, a hood star, no dents. This thing is looking sweet, and it's gonna look even sweeter once we get our new E55 wheels on. So a couple of these are the factory wheels that came in the back of this vehicle. If you guys remember, it came with some snow tires and some pretty destroyed and pitted wheels when I got it. And the reason for that was that some of these wheels were cracked, bent, bad tires, they were in rough shape. So I had a couple spare E55 wheels laying around at the house, and I sent them all to my guys at Chicago Wheel Service in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. They stripped them down to bare metal and powder coated them the factory silver finish. I got some new center caps, and then I replaced the tires with some Continental DWS all-season tires. These are really good. I've used them on a bunch of cars. I really like them. And normally I would just order them from Tire Rack. I found that that's pretty much the best deal around town. But Chicago Wheel Service tries to match Tire Rack now, and they were able to do that in this case. So they just ordered the tires for me. They fixed the wheels, powder coated them, mounted, balanced everything, and I just picked them up completely done. So we will save this motivation work until after we're done with the horrible, horrible ABS ring. So not really too much of a time lapse to do here, guys. It's just gonna be me swearing and yelling for about 4 hours of fighting rust and getting this entire spindle off. So let me do that, and I'll show you guys the carnage when I get there. Wish me luck. Oh, just come on. Break free. Jeez. Not fun, guys. Not fun. All right, it's been a couple hours. I have removed all of the bolts that I need to remove. You can see these arms are loose, so there's a total, I think, of four or five, something that I've disconnected. And now at this point, we just simply need the axle to move in so we can pull this down and, you know, get to the end of the axle. And that is much easier said than done. This I would normally be hitting with an air hammer right in the middle, and it would shake it out, but I don't have any air, which is kind of a big problem. So I am beating on it with a hammer. I have the nut on there and the sockets, so we're not damaging any threads. I am pretty sure the aromatic suspension on this car has all been replaced. You can see this is really nice and new looking, and these don't leak. This thing sat for like 3 or 4 months, and it did droop down a little bit, but that's pretty normal on a car like this. Oh, I hate you so much. You are the worst. Come on. So close. Oh. I got it. I got it. Woo! Oh, this is awesome. Look, I wish I could have taken you with for the entire journey of getting this axle just out of the spindle, but trust me, it wouldn't have been rated G like most of my video content. So let me just show you where we're at and how bad this ABS ring is, or was. It kind of doesn't exist. So I ended up using air. There is a compressor all the way over there, and the hose reached to there. So I had to steal an air hose from the tire machine here at Mancuso's, and here we are. So air hammer is definitely the way to go. I was able to get the little axle stub through there in about 5 seconds, whereas I was beating on it for 5 minutes, and it wasn't going anywhere. But anyway, here it is. Here it is. This is where the ring is supposed to be, and as you can see, it's just a big chunk of rust. And if we look in here, we can see what's left of the ring. So here it is. Yeah. So unfortunately on these older W211s or S211s, whatever, this happens. You'll get an ABS light on, you'll think it's an ABS sensor. A shop may even replace the sensor thinking that's all it is, and in reality the sensors rarely go bad. It's pretty much this, especially now that these are a little bit older. So anyway, now the fun part will be to clean this up and to try and hammer on our new ring without destroying it. Let's see what it takes to get this guy off. I was hoping it would just instantly pry off, but that is not the case. Of course, okay. Maybe we'll just do a few of these. That'll do it. All right, kind of just prying this thing. It's starting to break off. Whoa, there we go. Got it. Cool. All right, so this is the old ABS ring, and as you can see, it's not in the best of shape. So at this point now, all we need to do is clean this up with a wire brush, and then hope that our new one just kind of slides on and doesn't give us any trouble. All right, I just borrowed this from the body shop, not at home base, people. Otherwise, I'll just use my normal wire wheel, but we'll work with what we got. All right, guys, so the new ring is on. It just slid right on, and we're just being careful to go around very gently around the whole thing and tap it in flush. And I couldn't find any special tool for this. Maybe Mercedes has one, maybe not. I think we can get away with doing this just fine. It seems to be going on there really nice. Look at this. This is the old one. You can see the little lines in there. That's what the sensor picks up to calculate the wheel speed. And now we have our nice new one that's actually going to function properly. So I'm going to put this all back together, and then we're moving on to the conductor plate, getting some wheels on this thing and getting it moving again. All right, guys, we'll do some more motivational work as soon as I get this car rolling, and I just want to knock out this conductor plate first. So not too much to see, especially if you've been following the channel for a while. I think I've done probably 3 or 4 of these, but very, very common issue on the 720 2.6 5-speed transmission. You got to drop the valve body and replace the conductor plate. So let me get that down. Trying not to make too big of a mess over here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, and here she is, the valve body with the conductor plate. So you have all of your transmission solenoids right here. There are 6 of them, and what we're gonna do is remove these T30 bolts, slide the solenoids out. This just pops right off, and then we replace it with our new conductor plate. So these will cause you to go into limp mode. You'll see transmission speed plausibility codes, very, very common that these go out And then of course, at the same time, since you got it all apart, you're gonna do a new transmission filter and this guy, which is the electrical connector that plugs in over here. These seals always leak. These are like 10 bucks. So you're gonna wanna swap that out at the same time, and this should fix your issue. So if you don't really work on cars, this can sound intimidating, like you have to disassemble your transmission and remove the valve body, but this is probably one of the easier things you can do to fix a transmission on any car. All right, I just filled up the transmission fluid. Everything back here is bolted together and good to go. We have a new water pump and thermostat somewhere in there that you can't see. Everything is filled up, the coolant. We are ready to start this car up and pray that there are no lights on the dash, but I can't wait. I'm putting the wheels on. We're just gonna go ahead and take it for a ride. We're gonna know right away if the transmission is shifting and not in limp mode, and if we have an ABS light, because that would come on as soon as it tried to detect wheel speed. So as soon as you get moving, that thing would come on. So yeah, let's bolt some wheels on, see what she looks like, and go for a cruise. Oh, yes. This looks so good. It looks so factory fresh. I know it's dirty, a little gross, but with these wheels in the factory silver and brand new tires, motivation, motivation, people. All right, the battery is bad. I got a jumper on it right now, so that's probably what the Visit Workshop is. Sounds so good now. No more bad water pump. Idles right down, runs perfectly smooth. I think the guy before me did motor mounts recently because it doesn't vibrate at all. I have a stack of receipts. The air suspension has been done. A lot of stuff has been replaced. And we just replaced some more, so let's go for a ride and see how she feels. All right, here we go. Perfect shift. Oh yeah. No ABS light. Now we gotta give it a little love. Oh yeah. We got all of our power back. Oh yeah. Doesn't skip a beat, shifts so nice. I love it. I love these cars. This thing's in great shape now. Mechanically, it feels amazing. The steering is on point. It doesn't even need an alignment or anything. I think it was done not too long ago. We're good, we're good. So let's bring this back into the detail bay. We gotta wash it up. We gotta clean some calipers. We got some buffing. We have some paint protection film to remove. We have a lot still to do. So let's just get to it. So check this out, Mercedes still makes this piece. This is a wagon specific part right here. I mean, I know they made a lot of E500 and E320 wagons, sort of, but I thought we were gonna have to make that. Look at this, 20 bucks at the dealer, pretty nice. And we just have to clean out this adhesive and get some new stuff on the backside. And this is gonna look sweet. Kind of like the rest of the car. All right, so we installed some urethane here. This is exactly what they use when they're putting windshields in. And just like that, we have our new little wiper trim piece. All right, thank you, sir. Right. Look at that, beautiful. Just like downtown. All right, guys, we are at the final stage of this mini restoration on the E55. This part is done. So we are now on the detail stage, which this guy needs desperately. Take a look at this paint with the lights on it. It is pretty bad. So my buddy Juan, he is Mirror Image 93 on Instagram. He is a mobile detailer. If you guys need any mobile detailing in the Chicagoland area, I'll leave all of his contact information down below. He will show up in his beautiful brand new Transit and he will detail your car. So the game plan is Juan and I are gonna do a 2-step buff. We're both gonna be working on the car at the same time. We're gonna spend about 8 hours on the car, including the ceramic coating. You guys have seen my other videos where the guys at Chicago Auto Pros have literally spent 40 hours paint correcting 2 other black E55s. We're not going that in depth. Again, this is a 232,000 mile driver, but I think we're gonna make it look really, really presentable. And of course, we gotta give you guys a little tape line action. All right, we'll hit it with the second stage now. Wow. Wow, dude. That is unbelievable. That is crazy. Look at that. So remember we had the PPF here and it looked brand new. You can't even tell where that line is anymore. So there we go. Tape is off. Let's give it a fair shot here. Let's wipe this down. And I just want to show you guys a 100% finished product here. So we're going to go ahead and apply the Avalon King ceramic coating. Okay, we'll wipe the coating off. Look at the difference here. Wow, look at how bad that looks. And then we have this section here. For a 2-step with the ceramic coating, this is gonna look great, especially for a driver. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and go nuts on this car. I still have some of the PPF to remove, so Juan's probably gonna start in the back while I continue to remove that off of the hood, and we have some on the mirrors as well. All right, so after we were done buffing, we washed the entire car. Then we sprayed it down with a mix of rubbing alcohol and water. That's to remove all of the compound and wax and oil so that when you ceramic coat, it adheres to the surface properly. So right now I'm just doing a little bit of touch-up paint on some tiny little rock chips. Then we'll let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow we're gonna clean the interior, and then ceramic coat the car, and we're done. This kind of stuff is like instant satisfaction as well. Look at that. All that dust. This thing has been sitting around for about a year, and even when I got it, it was pretty dusty and pretty dirty. Oh my gosh. This is gonna look so good. All right, so it's the next day. All of our touch-up work is dry, so now it's time for the ceramic coating. I really like this part. It's a ton of fun. I know I've probably said this a couple times in the video, but it's instant gratification. I will be coating everything on this car, the wheels, the glass, all of the trim, and I'm not gonna bore you with all of that because I've done it a few times already on the channel, but I will leave you a 4-minute tutorial video that I made down below if you guys want to learn how to coat every single surface on your car. All right, guys, it is yet another day. This entire project has taken me about 5 or 6 weeks. I don't come every single day, but probably 2 or 3 days a week. And the wagon restoration is done. It's done. There are no lights on the dash. The interior has dried. The ceramic coating has cured. This is the grand reveal, and we're gonna start off by doing it inside of the warehouse here at Mancuso's because it has some really good lighting so you guys can pick out all of the little imperfections on this 232,000 mile driver. So anyway, let's start off with the interior. It's a wonderful place to be. This view never gets old. It never gets old. This car looks so good now. So I opted to leave the one and only floor mat that this car had out because even after cleaning it wasn't in the best of condition, but we have cleaned up all of the carpets. This car didn't smell at all when I got it, which was great. And now it smells even better than that. So I have conditioned all of the leather in the car. So really the only imperfection in the interior would be mostly this driver's side seat bottom, which will come available. It's just a matter of time for a couple $100. And this seat bottom is okay, but the rest of the seats are in excellent condition, including the back seats. The headliner looks really nice. I didn't actually have to clean that at all, but everything else was kind of grimy and dusty, and that is no longer the case. A very presentable 211 interior. The wood grain is in great shape, and nothing's cracked. All the buttons look great, and the door panels are cleaned up, and I will leave all of the supplies that I use to mint this car out down below. Leather cleaners, interior cleaners, everything we use on the exterior as well, but just take a look at these door panels. Really nice. Everything in the interior looks great, smells great, feels great, and this is the money shot. This is why you get one of these. It has the rear jump seats that I don't believe have really ever been used, and I've conditioned those as well. This wagon has one more feature that my other one doesn't have, and that is a power liftgate that works flawlessly. So anyway, let's close up these doors and I'll show you the exterior. So we went from this all the way to this. And guys, I am ecstatic with the results. We have a properly sorted 100% factory 232,000 mile E55 AMG wagon. But you can't tell this thing has the mileage anymore because it runs and drives like a top, and it looks like this. So no longer do we have a destroyed front bumper. No longer do we have yellowed headlights. No longer do we have a broken water pump, a broken mirror. Do we have nasty looking wheels with corrosion and bad snow tires? We have restored factory proper E55 AMG wheels with brand new tires. One of the most important things is we don't have any rust. It's fixed the right way. The rear bumper is freshly painted. I even polished out the tips a little bit back there. This was a big eyesore too, the rusted little trim around the wiper. And yeah, you know, it's a driver. It has some rock chips here and there. I spent a little bit of time with the old touch-up pen, so if you get up close, you can see some of those marks. But overall, this thing looks so beautiful. I've had this car for about a year and just working on other projects. Since I already had 211 wagon content on the channel, I kind of just let it sit around. It was too good of a deal to pass up. I only paid $7,000 for this car, and I'd have to tally up what I have into it now. It's probably around 12-ish or so. I kind of went a little bit further than I wanted to with some of these repairs, but either way, this is a passion for me. I absolutely love these cars. I think this guy just turned out so nice. And here she is outside on a beautiful sunny day, so you can take a look at it in its natural habitat. And I think we did a very good job correcting the paint in such a short amount of time. Oh, and hang on, you guys are gonna love this. This is one of my favorite parts of this project. And that is simply how sorted this car is. We have no more warning lights. It shifts perfectly, no more ABS light when we drive. And I did do a complete service on this. So we reset the maintenance indicator. It now has Amsoil running through it. But hang on. Where do I get to this? I should know. I own like There we go. There we go. No messages. And this isn't fake. I have driven this around. No messages come on. The lights are even on right now, and we don't even have a light bulb out. So perfect, perfect, perfect. And you guys are probably wondering what I'm gonna do with this thing, and I'm kind of wondering that myself. So obviously I can sell this car. I don't really need another E55 AMG wagon, but I am considering starting to do giveaways, and I think this would be the perfect car to start that off. So lots of big things coming to the channel. I'm working on merch and a website and a lot of other things. So for now, I'm gonna hold on to this car. I'm gonna wait and see what happens with all that, and stay tuned. There may be an E55 wagon giveaway in the very near future. So if you haven't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram and on Facebook at LegitStreetCars. Sometimes I post up stuff there before it shows up here in a video on YouTube. So it's a good place to be. I'm on there quite often. And of course, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. This took me forever to make. The editing alone, I think, was somewhere around the 30-hour mark. I mean, I'm like 20 hours deep right now, and I'm not even done. It's the end of the video. So give it a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe if you're new, and most importantly, have an awesome day. I'll catch all of you in the next video.